Today we will prove to you that even if you're energetically at a very low point, you can still manifest wonderful things in your life. We will share with you our experience, how we were able to manifest something really incredible, even though we were at an extremely low point in our life. Because it's so important when we are watching those law of attraction manifestation videos or content, we always think we have to constantly be at a very high state. We have to always be at a very high energy and be joyful and full of love and life in order to create anything. But that's just not the truth, because we are constantly creating. And this story today can inspire you that no matter how bad you have it in your life right now, you can still manifest something that you want in your life.
And my advice to you is to watch this video until very end. We will reveal the secret that makes you manifest no matter how low you feel.
In 2019, when Petra and me met, we first said, let's travel together a little bit around the world. We were both from different countries, and that seemed like a really cool thing to do. But after some time, there was of course COVID and the lockdown, and we were not able to go anywhere. So we were staying with her family in the Czech Republic for quite a long time. Once the borders finally opened, I said, okay, let's go now to Switzerland. I also want to show you my world, and I want to show you my country, and want you to meet my family. And I was really excited for this. And when we got in the car and we drove those 10 hours to Switzerland, the thing was, as soon as we crossed the border, I had a panic attack. And I have never really dealt with panic attacks before that. It came totally unexpected. I didn't know where it was coming from. But we were planning to stay in Switzerland for like 5 months. And I didn't know what I should do with me. It was so horrible. I couldn't function. I wasn't able to eat. I was always super anxious. I was always anticipating the future, the worst case scenario, what could happen. And I felt super uncomfortable. I was out of my body. My eyes were totally huge and like lifeless. There wasn't much life in my body. I felt I was just escaping it. And some other things made the situation even worse. Petra was dealing with a bladder infection at the same time.
Really long because of the COVID. They didn't accept me anywhere at the doctor and blah, blah, blah. It was all really complicated. But we ended up in Switzerland, and we ended up in this apartment where we lived, and we started to live next to the road where were huge trucks going by all the time. So when we wanted to talk to each other, we basically had to scream because we couldn't hear each other. And it was in a very small village and very small road and very, very big trucks there. Plus, Raphael had to go to work all the time, and I was alone in there. I had nobody to talk to actually all the time.
And of course, in that state, in that fear, I was also attracting worse situations at work. So I had a really horrible boss at that time. She was really manipulative and controlling. And because I was so out of my center, I wasn't able to stand up for myself. I was just getting worse and worse. Something needed to change. We knew something needed to change. The apartment was not appropriate for us because we couldn't sleep well. The road was constantly active, and we had a train right in front of our bedroom. So every time the train was driving by, there was also this alarm bell, bing, 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 bing.
On top of it, I had my own EU car in there. And every time police drove by, they saw EU car and they were looking at it like it is like some kind of super suspicious car to be in that Swiss little village, because they probably never seen any EU car in there, or I don't know. And so we were very suspicious, and you are not allowed to drive EU car when
as
you
a
are
Swiss citizen.
As a Swiss citizen.
Which I didn't know. And as soon as they told me, and they told me what the consequences would be, I knew, okay, I can't drive the car then. That would mean she would have to drive me to work every single day and pick me up. And it's a 20-minute ride. That's also not a solution.
Yeah.
We can't sustain that for 5 months. What should we do?
And it was 4 rides, because there and back and there and back, because they have 2 hours.
I came home for the lunch break.
2 hours lunch break, yeah.
So what should we do? What should we do in such a situation? Of course, we remembered everything that we have learned about manifestation, about meditation, and about changing our energy. And we started to work on ourselves. And it was really, really not easy for both of us. because I was dealing with my stuff, she was dealing with her stuff, and to
Always
then
in
just
pain, yeah.
just close your eyes and just start to be happy and grateful and tune into your future. It's not easy in those moments, but we did it anyways. And me, in my desperation, I started to speak to the universe in that moment. I did a meditation one day and I kind of connected and I said, hey universe, please give me a sign. I kept talking to the universe the entire time, the entire day, and said, hey, please give me a sign. I'm really open for it. I'm ready to receive. And I just wanted to be in a better situation. And that same day in the evening, there was a guest in the restaurant where I was working. And he said, oh, yeah, you're that guy, right? Yeah, I know your grandfather. And I have never met my grandfather. He passed away when I was 2 years old. And I only know one photo of him. And he's kind of having this grim look. And that was the photo that they had on the funeral. So that's the only photo that I ever saw of him. And that guest was like, yeah, I actually have a photo of him. And he scrolled through his phone. It was like so random because that's so many decades ago that photo was taken. But he found it and he showed it to me. And of course, that photo was beautiful to see, but it wouldn't change my life. But I decided to accept this as the sign of the universe. And I said, thank you, universe. Thank you so much for showing me that you're here, that you're present with me, that you got me. I know I can trust you, and I know that it will get better.
Meanwhile, I knew he has a really hard time at work in his job, and I talked to everybody and asked if there is some possibility to change a job. He was actually not willing to, he didn't trust it at all, so he didn't want to do any kind of changes about it because he didn't even think that it's possible.
And I also need to add that you also said, isn't there a possibility that we could go to another apartment?
Yeah.
And I also said, it's not possible. There are no other apartments. It's summer. Everything is booked.
Yeah. And I was thinking that I really can't make it there. It was really creepy, old, dark apartment. So there came this day when Raphael saw the grandfather's photo at work where he was stressed, where he couldn't drive the car, which he drove, but he didn't know he's not allowed. And I went into the meditation. And because I had UTIs and it was really painful and nobody could help me and nothing was working for me, I decided that one day I'll just not meditate about health or healing or anything, but I just went into the meditation, and because it was a meditation from my first retreat, I just saw myself in that meditation, how sincerely I am trying to get into the Dr. Joe Dispenza's work and how I'm trying to meditate and how I'm trying to figure it out. And I felt so much love and compassion for that lady, for that woman, which was me, sitting in that ballroom and trying to make sense about all of it. I finished the meditation and Raphael knocked on my door and he says,
honey, I have a job interview. I have to go right now. Do you want to go with me? And she was like, yeah, okay, I can go with you.
No, I said, I don't want to go. And you said that you want me to go with you, but
yeah,
no.
because they also wanted to meet you.
And I was also a little bit bored there, so I thought, why would I go to the job interview with him? But then I went. And when we got there, it was all in white. It was like a different world from our creepy, dark place to the white place. Okay, it was already strange. And of course, two people were interviewing us, husband and wife, and he knew them both because in that village everybody knows everybody almost. And so we were sitting on that interview and they agreed about his job, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that he will pretty much start immediately or in like very soon. And I was really glad for him that he will be a bit closer. He doesn't have to use a car, which was a very good...
yes, because the restaurant was only 100 meters away from our apartment.
Which was a very good bonus. So it was very surprising to me that we went to the job interview 150 meters away from our old home. Just watch out, because this is really important, because the dimensions which you live in, you can change them, and it can be right next door, or it can be two few steps away from you. So watch out.
And we were sitting on the interview and they were saying, oh, but we would need you until the end of October. And I said, well, we only have our apartment until the end of September. So what should we do now? And they said, well, they actually have an apartment right upstairs and it's free, it's available. We could move in anytime we would want to. And if we would want to see it, I was thinking, yeah, okay, this is from an old lady before. Their mother was living there, so it will be also old and creepy, and we probably don't really have to see it.
It was on the same road, on the same noisy road, so he was very much resisting to see that apartment.
Yes, but Petra was kind of open to it.
And the lady said, they were very sarcastic, and she said, oh, you will probably not very much like it, but we would show you anyways. And Raphael is like, okay, so let's see it. And then we went to see it.
They opened the door and my brain shut off. I could not believe what I was seeing. It was beautifully furnished, white apartment, shabby chic if you know it, beautiful style. The bedroom was on the opposite side of the road, nice carpet on the floors, and the windows were facing the opposite side to the hill and to the cows and the green. And it was absolutely quiet and just a gorgeous, gorgeous place. And we could not believe it. We were both so...
We were very much surprised. We have agreed the same price for the apartment as the previous creepy place. We have figured out with a person who was supposed to live there that he would switch with us that creepy place, because that was some student who didn't really mind where he will live. We solved the car problem, we have solved the work problem, and we could actually sleep, and we could actually sort of like feel a little bit more like people in there, and like start to live and enjoy a little bit, because it wasn't possible in that previous apartment, especially for me, when I couldn't work, couldn't go anywhere, couldn't see people because of the lockdown. You had to be all the time in a house, and it was all the time extremely noisy. It was very, very refreshing to be there.
We were really so surprised and so in awe by the universe, how this all orchestrated itself. And a series of events, it was a long story now, but a series of events that all puzzle themselves together and
incredible,
put yourself into that line that it's just everything aligns. And you didn't see this possibility before. I didn't see possibility that we could go to another apartment. I've tried, I looked online, I talked to people, there was nothing available. Getting another job, you would have to go to applications and it takes some time. If you're lucky, you might find something and you will still have to drive somewhere.
So what's the secret which makes you manifest and which made us manifest, even though we were going through very tough time? Raphael was asking me today, right? You wanted to figure it out.
So, honey, what's the secret to manifest?
So, it's the pureness of the heart. It's your heart. When your heart stays clean and open and sincere, you will manifest anyways beautiful things. You will anyways attract into your life absolutely beautiful things, even though you're going through a hard time, if you have panic attacks or anything. Beyond all of these layers, there is open heart, and open heart manifests only love. And it seems on the surface level that those layers are so tough to walk through. It's like a mud, you just can't move. But underneath it, there is something happening, some spark of hope or spark of this beautiful energy which is ready for you. So in case you are not making it out of your tough environment, tough problems, remember that if you are pure in a heart, if you really are sincere being, if you are clean in there, it's going to manifest anyways for you the best it can, because you are worthy. You deserve to be in a better place, and the divine and your heart knows.
Petra explained this to me a day ago, and that's exactly what happened. And I didn't really see it until she told me, because that day when I did the meditation, I really had a very pure heart, and I was saying, universe, give me a sign. I'm open. I'm ready to receive. Thank you. I know you're there. I know you're there. And I just wanted to have a better situation for myself and for her, so we can really enjoy it. We just were sincere. It came really from my heart. I wanted the situation to change, to improve. I wasn't doing it from a space of, universe, you betray me and you have to now do this for me and I deserve it and I'm worthy of it. That was not the energy that I did it in. And you as well, like this beautiful moment when you see your past self and you fall in love with that you that is so sincere and is doing the work, and you're now doing the work. That's when the miracles are happening.
Yeah. You know, in Dr. Joe's meditations, you always hear, look back to where you have started, on that person which started this meditation, and look at yourself, you know, or in life you can just look at yourself 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and see how good person you were, how you really meant it sincerely, with open heart. You really meant it well. You wanted to heal really a lot, you know. You wanted to create abundance because you wanted to provide for your family. You had clean intentions. It's the most important energy in the world. The love and the purity of the heart is just what makes all the miracles, you know. I know that people are also not nice people and they have a lot of money and they seem that they have it all. But, you know, you don't want to be a person who is not pure and have it all. You want to be a person who have it all and is pure.
We really wanted to accomplish with this video that you can realize for yourself, okay, even though I'm not in a good place right now, there is a silver lining, there is a light for me, there is something that I can do in my life still, that you don't have to be discouraged and think, as long as I'm not able to get out of that state, I'll not be able to manifest anything. Universe will not support me, nothing will happen. That's not the truth. Universe is always there for you. It always got your back.
It's a game changer also for me. When I realized it after 7 years of meditations, I was like, wow, so I don't have to try that much. I don't have to force it that much. It's just it matters that I'm clean in my heart and my intention is pure. You know, it's so easy. Do it for yourself. If there is something sneaky and not very nice beyond all your intentions, it could be also supported, you know, but for how long and how it's going to feel, it's not going to feel really nice. So we would like to encourage you to clean your heart, to really get out of your body what is not belonging there, what's not love. What is love, it belongs into your body. That's what's healing. That's what's making your life worth to live. And that's what's going to manifest and attract beautiful things into your life, beautiful people and all these things.
If you're currently struggling with manifesting something or with stepping into your future self, we created a form in the description where you can fill out your story, what your current struggle is, so we could feature your story in a future video, so we can guide you to step into your future fully. And if you would like to share some more time with us, then we recommend you this video here next.